So we come back to my contribution to SharePoint hackathon, which was called EcoGuardian's Lair, small agenda, who am I, context and constraints, component use, and the main part demonstration, of course. So who am I? I'm Bruce, I'm 44, and as you may guess with my accent, I'm from France, near of Paris. I used to have a lot of hobbies. I traveled a lot before. I was playing guitar in a band before, in a cover band. I dived. I was playing a lot of video games. Then I had a boy. So I'm a proud dad now. So main occupation, of course, is being a dad. But life is good. I can also start to travel again. I found another band with the parents of the school of my son. And I continue playing video games, even as you can see, there is more Lego video games as I play with my kids. So I do the same stuff as before, but with my son now. So that's good. I just stopped diving. He's too young to dive with me for the moment. So professionally, I've got 20 years of experience. I've been working for 12 years in a bank. So I started as a COBOL developer. I went to manager, etc. So many adventures. 4 years as management consultant, but I started to work on Microsoft for my company. I was the admin. I did the migration from Google Workspace to Microsoft for my company. So I started to learn a lot about Microsoft. And then I've been Microsoft 365 consultant for 4 years now. I started in 2021. My field of expertise, SharePoint, Teams, Power Automate, and more recently, it's about 2 years now, Entra and administration of tenants. Of course, I do also project management and change management. So if you need a consultant, I'm here. Now, let's go to the hackathon, the context and the constraints. So the hackathon, we were meant to create a nice portal page, a nice portal. So I started, why EcoGuardian's Lair? This name may sound unusual. At this time, I was working for several energy companies. So I thought why I should do like I would do for one of the company I was working for. I asked Copilot, and he found me nice names. And the first one was EcoGuardian. I liked it. It also created a logo and advised me to use some fonts for the site. And as I love heroic fantasy too, a guardian, I imagine a big guy with a lair, with like a dragon with the treasure. So that gave the name EcoGuardian's Lair. I decided to apply some constraints because what my customers want is my goal is that they have a nice site, a beautiful site, but also a site that they use and that they update. It's the main point of an intranet. If it's not updated, it's dead. So I try to find the things that customers ask me regularly and to compile them to give a nice portal. So news highlights, links to business apps. So people love to have shortcuts on their main page. Events for the company, navigation to sites linked to the hub. I decided to use a hub format. Showcase for new recruits. It's something that comes often, and people want to showcase the new recruits so that people can contact them and know them, etc. User feedback form, of course, an intranet is living thanks to its user. So users can tell when content cannot be found, when something is not good, etc. And the main point was, I just want to use out-of-the-box features. Generally, I don't work with IT. I work with business directions. So that I need to have something simple to maintain, and I want people to be able to make the intranet live. That's my main goal when I create SharePoint sites. And last, I wanted to have something where you don't have to scroll too much. I don't want to have a one-pager with a lot of scroll to do. I want to have the main information available immediately. So, sorry. The components I used, which I will explain them in the demonstration, so I will go quite quickly, but I tried to use the new components, the flexible layout section, editorial card, and the updated one with the arrowhead part. Then I have the classical components that I use in every intranet I create because they are really handful and they are really nice to use. When we talk about something about, we talked about web parts, sorry, and I also use several features like the hub, security groups and audience. I will talk about that during my presentation, the brand center, and some advanced formatting for a list. Let's go for the demonstration and to the Guardian's Lair. So this is the main page of my site as seen by a user, a standard user. It's important because there is a small difference when you have edit rights on the site. So what I decided to do, let me know if you want me to zoom on the site because I have quite a big screen and maybe it's some part are small. I will zoom if needed.
It may be one step zooming, so.
Yeah. So just after I show you something, the first thing I do to, because I said I want to limit scroll, but I cannot put something, everything in the same page. So what I do each time, I try to find a way to indicate the user that there is more content below. So that's why you just see what's new at, and you see the first button here, so that the user knows that there are some content below. And just because many people, if you cut the content neatly, but don't let them know that there is some scroll, they think there is only one screen, and they don't think to scroll. Many of them you cannot imagine. So I will zoom now that I show that. So what I choose, I started to use the flexible layout content section because I didn't want to create I saw really nice example of pages, but I wanted to keep it simple. The advantage of the layout, even on simple configuration, it's that allows me to do things that I couldn't do before. This size of web part centered, it wasn't possible before. I had to choose between columns, size, etc. And it was either on the left or the right with the good size, or really small on the center, or really big. So with the flexible layout, that helped me to create some really pixel precise design. That helped me to integrate a list. That's a list here. I will show you how I did that. But before, when you wanted to use list, you had a lot of blank space around it that you cannot use. Now I will go to the edit part to show you directly, and I will zoom again. You see that the list component, it wasn't possible to have something just next to it. So this helped me to have the flexible layout to do that. I created also some waves to separate the different section. So it's in the background. You can do that either by creating a section that will contain a wave with the two colors of the bottom section and the upper section, or you can include it in the background. That's what I did now. I will show you. I've got a tool to create waves, nice waves, really easily. So first, the main news of the company, what is going on right now. I often use news web part with a specific site to let the communication direction put the news they want to put in a highlight. But the problem is they are always, when they use news, they are always have to reorder it to keep some news that need to stay longer, etc. So I prefer to put some slides using the new hero web part so that they don't have to spend their time moving news back and forth to keep them on the top page. Then many companies now ask to highlight their newcomers. So that's what I did. I will show you the list just after. Then I put news because this is the heart of the intranet. You need to have some news, and I took some quick links to direct users to the different sites of the hub. And on the right, I used the spacer to give some space because normally this should be there. Sorry, it moved. To give some space because I don't like to have too many things in a small space. So that lets the page breathe. It's better. And quick links to several business apps, and of course a form to ask a question or give remarks concerning the intranet. So you've got on this web page main information, newcomers highlighted, and access to your tools, and you can ask questions too. Okay, I don't know if you have any remarks or something you want me to deep dive a bit. Let me know. Then, next to that, this card changes. I also use a hub because it gives me several features that I like. I've got the main navigation that will be common to all the sites of the hub. You've got the search also that allows you to search for documents or content on all the sites of the hub at once. And it also allows you to gather all the information from the different sites linked to the hub on the main page really easily. So that's why I decided to use it. I also use the brand center because before you had to create specific theme and import it with PowerShell or any other way to import it. Now you've got the brand center that allows you to create new themes using fonts. So to access the brand center, you go to your organization settings in the global admin and brand center. Then you have to create, it explains you how to create the brand center site. Then you create your brand and you can choose fonts that wasn't possible before. And now you can also create brand colors. So I decided to take the colors of my logo that is here. And I decided to create after that a font package for my SharePoint site and a theme. So before you only have one option for a theme, you can only have one primary color, text color, and background color. Now you can create, in fact, several models so that you can, if your logo and if your brand has many colors, you can easily create sites with multiple colors. And I've got a customer that just needed that, so that's perfect that this feature arrived now. Note that I decided to use the brand center to have a global theme for all my company, but you can also do that in the site branding, and you can do that at the level of a site. So I can create a theme, I can create a font package, etc. So to come back to my site. We'll go now to the list I created so that I can show you how I did that. It's people, it's here. So this list is just a really simple list. There is one column. It's a column of type person so that you can add contacts from your address book. You have to note before you could switch to list from list to gallery directly from the view. With the new list display, you have to create a specific gallery view, else the formatting won't work. What I did, so there are two ways to create advanced formatting list. Either you go to the GitHub site, PNP list formatting, and you choose a model. This site, I think you put it in the links you shared before. But it's really a goldmine for when you look when you're looking for formatting. If for example if you need the FAQ, you can find something like that. There are many samples, and I think once I will have fixed my sample, I will add it to this library to contribute because I used it a lot before. But what I wanted to do is that I wanted to start from scratch because no template was satisfying me. And what I did, in fact, I started from a gallery list to get this part. I created a temporary image column so that I can have this placeholder because it's complicated to create placeholders. So I will show you format current view. So I create some JSON. I think I have it, yes, in my Visual Studio. So I started with the tile formatting with SPCard formatter, container, sorry. So many tests to see if I can get the image from the user. You've got several functions to do that. If it works or not, and if it doesn't work, I create a placeholder that I got from the other list. So you see, what I always do is that I take something existing and I modify it to take it to cover my needs. And I just have the title and the email. I wanted to add other properties from the user, but I encountered difficulties. So that's why I don't know if I will manage to get other properties, or if before sharing this list formatting, I don't know if I will have to add columns to get the position, the phone, etc., because it wasn't working when I tried to do that. So I will complete it. But it allows you to have something nice with rounded corners and some shadow, etc. And it's less SharePoint design, so people like that. After that, the form. Any question? I created another list. Using a form, the advantage of the form is that this can allow people to create items in the list while they don't have permissions on this list. So it's perfect for gathering information. So just I created a little form, and I will show you the result here. And sorry, it's here. And that gives me some kind of ticket tracking tool, basic, but it works. And people can also, with the view, create, can move their tickets from one status to the other. What is interesting is that I used a property of the list. So it's in advanced settings. So that people, I will zoom a bit, can only read items that they created. So if I come back to my user, this one, if he goes to the list, site contents, he will go there, and it's questions. He will only see the ticket he created. So that's a good way to create really simply a basic ticket management program without coding. Last thing I wanted to show you is that I use the groups to give rights on the site. Let me show. That's what I do on every intranet I do. I never give permissions to single users because it's really complicated quickly if you start to give permissions to single users. And that will be my last, I think, as I see time is running. So site permissions. So I created an intranet administrators group to put people that need to administrate. And what I do is that I put this group as site collection admin on every site of the intranet. And I create other groups side by side to give site members the right to modify one site and not the other, because sometimes you don't want people to have the rights on all the sites. And for the visitors, generally, I put everyone except external users, except if someone doesn't want, he wants a more restricted people group, but generally I can use that. And what is good with the hub is that also you can synchronize permissions with all the sites that are linked to it, so that visitors from the hub can be given rights on all the sites automatically. You only have to manage your visitors at the hub level, and it will be synchronized with all the visitors for the other site. Of course, you can decide site by site if you want to have specific visitors. And of course, it only concerns visitors. You cannot have a general way to give write permissions on all the sites of the hub. It stays secure. And the last advantage of using groups is that it allows you to use audiences too. There is a question. I don't know if I just finish and I will answer the question just after. Okay. I saw a hand raised.
Okay.
So
okay. Please continue.
Yeah, I don't have. I will just finish. I wanted to finish with that. So the advantage of using groups is that you can use audiences. If you can see here in my menu, so I'm the admin of the site. I've got an admin link here and here, and I've got a new admin section has been added. I have a news, and this goes to a page. I create that often admin page in each site so that people that don't really know SharePoint, that don't know how to go to site contents, etc., they have quick access to everything they can modify. The pages, the list, and the tutorial for the document library, sorry. And I add some tutorials on how to use SharePoint. I create that quite often, and people appreciate that. But this admin page must be reserved to admins. So I created, of course, I changed the rights so that people cannot modify it if they are just visitors. And the good thing is that with audiences, I will come back here. In fact, people don't see the link, so that they don't have an error message while clicking on it. It won't add protection, but it allows them to see only things that are relevant to them. And also, you see the admin new. I removed it because it doesn't concern the visitors of the site. So you can use it if you have, for example, subsidiaries that communicate on a site, and you don't want all the people to see the news from the subsidiary, but just the people for this subsidiary to see the news. You can use audiences, and the same for the menus. You can determine what is displayed for what person. So everyone has the same home page, but not exactly the same content. And to do that, there are two ways to do that. For navigation, you just go to navigation and you enable site navigation audience targeting, and you add audiences. Once it's activated, you can add groups here. It can be 365 groups or security groups. It works too. It's the same for the quick links. It's the same for the quick links. If I can go there. It's not this one I wanted. For the quick links, it's the same way of working. Okay, sorry. It's the same here. You activate audience targeting at the web part level, then you go on the specific link and you add audience here. For the events and the news, it's a bit different because you have to activate audience targeting. I'm sorry, don't know. It doesn't. I will do that if it doesn't work here. Okay, I will do that with the event. It's the same way of working, but so you activate audience targeting, but you cannot on each event or each new decide which audience will be there. So you go to the site pages, for example, for the news. So I will go to the site content. The site pages, and in fact, you have on this library, it works for the highlighting documents, etc. It's the same way of working. You go to the library settings, advanced setting, audience targeting settings. You activate the audience targeting, you click OK, and then it will add you a column that is audience. And then in this column, you add the audience you want to target, the audience or the audiences. And by combining this column, the filling of this column, and activating the audience in the news web part, it will display news differently. And I think that's all for me.